The following is a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio. Our coverage of Dowling Catholic Sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Mercy One, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Fast Signs in Clive, Blessman International, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Bozen the Florist. Thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
And a very pleasant good evening. Happy New Year from Iowa Catholic Radio and our first sporting event of the 2005 portion of the high school basketball season. Mark Amadil, Jimmy Cataldo from the Dowling Catholic Gym for the Catholic Classic, the boys basketball classic. And the Maroons have kind of resurrected that, so to speak. And it's we have four teams here over the weekend. And tonight we're going to bring you Dowling Catholic taking on the Saints of Cedar Rapids Xavier. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you, Mr. Jimmy Cataldo. Welcome back.
Yeah, glad to be back. New year, great opportunity to see four really good teams. You saw Carroll Kemper and Bishop Heelan in the game prior. Two really good teams. Mm-hmm. Carroll Kemper looks really, really athletic, really good. But the Maroons get to take on a really good Cedar Rapids Xavier, who's just 2 years removed from being in the state championship game in Class 3A back in 2023, getting beat by Bondurant by 3. So Cedar Rapids Xavier being runner-ups. A little down year last year, but they're off to a good start, 4-1 so far this year.
No question about it. And the head coach is Mike Freeman in his 6th year at Cedar Rapids Xavier. And the Saints come on over here to Central Iowa to play Dowling Catholic. The Maroons are 4-2 coming into the Christmas and New Year's break, and they start with a pair of non-conference games tonight at Xavier. And, it depends on how you do, because in Game 1, it was all Kemper Knights as Kemper defeated Bishop Heelan 73-46. So the winner will play tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. And the loser will play in the consolation at noon against Bishop Heelan. So it depends on where Xavier and Dowling fall. We'll be there tomorrow. I got permission to leave all this stuff up, so don't get any ideas, and we'll have that to deal with.
We just want to make sure you're fully insured, Mark, because, you can get this board operator gone, but anyway, it's.
I called your insurance agent. He was going to put it on your policy, so I don't know if that means.
Can
anything.
Can you imagine? Can I get a writer to leave my equipment? Sure, Mark.
Absolutely.
Anyway, but again, you look at tonight's matchup: Cedar Rapids Xavier, Dowling Catholic. Two very similar teams. I looked at rosters. You look at statistics, kind of what teams are doing before the Christmas break, because you really look at this as two seasons. How do you do before the break? How do you do after the break?
Right.
Really determines your run come later in March. But two very similar teams. Both teams have done really well against below 500 teams. The Maroons have won every game against below 500 teams except for Valley, which the Maroons have been Valley's only loss this year, which is a tremendous win by the Maroons. But they went into break losing to Johnston and losing to Waukee. Two really good opponents, but I think it was the way they played really upsets Coach Heinerson and the staff. So it'll be really interesting to see how they get back at it after the Christmas break. Because this is going to be a good Xavier team they're going to face tonight. No question about it. And it'll be interesting. We got a matchup in the middle with the two big guys. The young man for Dowling Catholic, Charlie Crane, 6'9" junior, going up against A.J. Evans, a 6'8" junior for Xavier. And both of them almost averaging double-doubles. And that should be a great matchup to watch in the post. It's funny you say that, because that was the matchup that I looked at when I researched the game is Charlie Crane versus A.J. Evans. A.J. Evans shooting 65% field goal percentage, has not attempted a three-point shot yet this year, so it gives you a real good idea of what he likes to do. Charlie Crane, 58% on the year in the paint. His shot 9 three-pointers, made 3 of them. We know Charlie can step out behind the three-point arc and hit them, but rebounding. Both these kids are averaging over 7 rebounds a game, so they both hit the boards really well. One thing Charlie Crane has over A.J. Evans is blocks. We've seen the length of Charlie Crane throughout the year. Charlie Crane's averaging 4 blocks per game, so it's going to be really interesting, this matchup tonight.
Certainly will. And for Dowling Catholic, the Maroons coming off the loss to Waukee, and as you mentioned, Johnston, to end the first part of the season with 2 losses. But they got off to a great start. You mentioned the victory at Valley, and then the next day they go over to Roosevelt and win over there, which is never easy. But this Dowling team, I think, led by Noah Martins and, of course, Charlie Crane in the post, but Nate Jenkins, Lucas Paoli really coming in their own, and Maddox Capola, who's the only returning starter for for this Dowling team, just trying to come into his own a little bit too with this group. But 4 new starters for the Maroons, and I think for Xavier, they have 2 new starters after graduations last year.
Xavier has a very a 10-year team. A lot of kids got a lot of meaningful minutes last year in Murray, Evans, Pino. You're going to hear a lot about. So Xavier definitely have some experience. Where the Maroons, the only returning guy, as you mentioned, is Coppola. I think the break serves Maddox Coppola great. I think it gives him an opportunity to reevaluate what he's doing well. Where does he need to pick up his game? Because Maddox Coppola is a kid. This Maroons team is going to need to play well in this stretch run, and we haven't seen it out of Maddox, but I think you're going to see a lot more and a lot more up-tempo play from him coming here in January.
All right, the Catholic Boys Classic going on this weekend here at Dowling Catholic High School. We'll have game 2, and that's coming up. Starting lineups are up next. We'll take a break. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo. It's Dowling Catholic and Cedar Rapids Xavier here at the Dowling Gym. Back in 1 minute on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for programming funded by Blessman International. We bring the good news of the gospel to South African children and their families through faith formation and locally sustainable programs. As the Fellowship of Christian Athletes location for all South Africa, our Sports for Christ complex provides student access to friendly competition where discipline and dedication are developed. Learn how you can support programs like Sports for Christ or experience the hands-on engagement of a mission trip at blessmaninternational.org.
Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. cpcustomhomes.com.
Welcome back to the Dowling Catholic Gym. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo, as we get set for Dowling and Cedar Rapids Xavier. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First of all, for the Xavier Saints, as they come in with a record of 4-1, they play in the Mississippi Valley Conference, the Mississippi Division in Class 3A. And their head coach is Mike Freeman in his 6th year, assisted by Brian O'Donnell, Roberto Pino, and Caleb Jameson. And the Saints will start at one guard. Xander Murray, a 6'1 junior, averaging 15 points. He is their leading scorer, and he'll wear number 0. The other guard is Aiden Miller, a 6'3 senior, averaging 6 points, wearing number 1, and a captain. And the other guard, Lorenzo Pino, a 5'10 junior, averaging 6 points, and he'll wear number 2. The fourth guard is Caleb Wilgenbush, a 6-foot senior, averaging 12.5 points. He'll wear number 5, and he's also a captain. And finally at center, A.J. Evans, a 6'8 junior, averaging 11 points, 8 rebounds, and he'll wear number 23. Saints come in averaging 62 points on offense, giving up 48 on defense. Now for Dowling Catholic, the Maroons will go with their usual lineup they've been using through the first half of the season. Dowling comes in with a record of 4-2, and the head coach is Justin Einertson in his 2nd year. Maroons will start at one guard, Nathan Jenkins, a 6'1 junior, averaging 9.5 points. The other guard is Noah Martins, a 5'11 junior, leading scorer, averaging 13.5 points, wearing number 11. The third guard is Maddox Coppola, a 6'1 junior, averaging 5 points. And at one forward, it will be Lucas Paoli, a 6'2 senior, averaging 7.5 points, wearing number 3. And the center is Noah Martins, a 5'11 junior, averaging 13.5 points. We're going to keep it here, Jimmy, as we're about set for tip-off. We're starting early, as the previous game won by the Carroll Kemper Knights, 73-46 over Bishop Heelan. So they'll be in the finals tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. And what are some of the keys you got here in the short span?
It's hard to find a difference between these two teams. Very similar in guards, very similar in the post. I think the Maroons really outpace them with strength of schedule. The Maroons are battle-tested short in this season, so it'll be a really good game here to watch against these two teams. It's anyone's ball game.
All right, the tip up and controlled by the Saints. And A.J. Evans tips in the backcourt, so Cedar Rapids Xavier going left to right in their navy road uniforms with silver trim. And now a bad pass, and can be tracked down the backcourt and be over and back on Xavier to start the contest, as the Maroons now will have their first possession. Dowling in their home white uniforms, maroon numbers and trim. Jimmy?
Well, it's going to be interesting. We always say that Eastern Iowa is a little bit different than Western Iowa on how they play football, baseball, basketball. So it'll be interesting to see how they are going to defend the Maroons tonight.
And here's a shot in the corner. It's no good by the Maroons. And Lucas Paoli, rebound Charlie Crane. His putback no good, but the rebound out to Xavier now inside. The Saints work it in to A.J. Evans. His shot up and good, and a foul on Charlie Crane. And you didn't say that in your keys, but Charlie's good for a foul in the first minute of the contest, right?
I've looked at Charlie's fouls per game. He's averaging just over 3 fouls per game, so he does get in foul trouble. We usually see Charlie getting into a foul within the first minute, and right on cue he gets it.
Evans' free throw is no good. Rebound Dowling, but stolen away by the Saints, so both teams trade turnovers. Here's Evans against Crane in the lane. The shot up and no good, and a foul on Crane, and that'll get off the bench. Quincy Moore for Dowling as Charlie has picked up his second.
Well, I think that's a little bit of inexperience in Charlie. Charlie's got to see how this plays in. Can't play as aggressive with one foul early in the game. Got to play a little bit more on the ground, and Charlie kind of jumps into him on that.
First free throw is good by Evans. He's now 1 for 2 at the line. Tonight's game in the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, brought to you in part by Mercy One, Fast Signs in Clive, Catholic Tuition Organization, and Skeffington's Formal Wear. Second free throw, no good. So Charlie Crane sits down, didn't even get to play a minute, and ruins substitution early with Quincy Moore off the bench.
Well, it's going to put Quincy in a big role here early in the game, as you probably won't see much of Charlie here in this first quarter. So see how Quincy Moore, who's had a good opportunity in the last few weeks to get more basketball in him, see how he plays against A.J. Evans.
All right, Dowling with the basketball, dribble drive in the lane. They kick it out in the corner to Paoli. Lucas in the lane, a head fake, now gives it underneath to Moore. Quincy underneath the basket, his shot up, rims out, no good. The rebound ripped out of there. It goes out of bounds. They say went off of A.J. Evans of Xavier. It'll be Dowling basketball. Saints lead 3-0.
Well, I think the Maroons, what we've seen success in this year is their ability to move without the basketball. Is when they fail to move is when they get bad shots. So it's important that they move without the basketball, keep moving the ball around, look for that extra pass.
All right, here's Martins with it, top of the key to Coppola. Maddox with it. It's Moore, Jenkins, Paoli, Martins, and Coppola, the 5 on the floor for Dowling as the Maroons go right to left. An offensive foul, illegal screen called on Coppola. Maddox with the illegal screen. They catch him with it. Third team foul on Dowling here in the first minute and a half.
Usually when you play early in the game, you really want to see how the officials are officiating the game, and as a player, you got to adjust.
Officials tonight, Joey Townsell, Chris Lynch, and Tyler Brady. And now a near steal by Quincy Moore, and they say went out of bounds off of Dowling with 22 on the shot clock. Maroons overplaying, and Quincy's got his hands, he got a lot of work cut out for him. Quincy at 6'5", going up against A.J. Evans at 6'8".
I think one thing you're going to see out of Quincy, though, is he's going to be aggressive. I think he's going to play with a lot of body, a lot of strength against A.J. Evans. A little bit less than what Charlie would have done.
All right, Xander Murray underneath and loses it out of bounds. He gets it to Wilgenbush, and he lost it off his knee, trying to plead his case to Tyler Brady, and to no avail. It'll be Dowling basketball off the turnover, and a 1-2-2 full court press by the Saints. Dowling across the timeline, and they get it to Jenkins. Now he's tied up, double team, and try to get it to Coppola. The ball loose on the floor and picked up by Xavier. Here's Murray down court, a layup up and good. He lob pass underneath to Evans, and he scores. He's got all five of Xavier's points, 5-0 Saints. Here's Dowling with the ball the other way. Martins for 3, top of the key, no good. Moore with the rebound. Quincy in the post, kicks it back out. Long 3 coming by Coppola, off the back iron, no good. And a rebound out to Xander Murray and Cedar Rapids Xavier. Maroons had a couple good looks there, couldn't get it to fall. Now a turnover by the Saints, picked off by Jenkins. Nathan in the front court for the Maroons. In the corner it goes. Back out to Paoli, and now to Coppola. Xavier in man-to-man coverage. Dribble drive in the lane. A shot off the glass by Martins, no good, but he drew the foul, and that'll be the first foul on Cedar Rapids Xavier.
Love to see the Maroons taking the ball to the basket, really push the tempo north and south, downhill to the basket, as Maroons have done very well throughout the year. It's when they have to sit and set and shoot on the kick out is where they have not done so well. So you're going to see how they hit those shots.
Right, Martin's at the free throw line. He'll get 2. First one up and no good. Tonight's game on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, brought to you in part by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Blessman International, Bows and the Floors, and Construction Professionals. Second free throw good by Noah Martins. So the Maroons now trail 5-1. After digging themselves into a 5-point hole. Now a pass intercepted by the Maroons. Jenkins gets the pass. He goes all the way down court, reverse layup, left it short, fight for the rebound and out of bounds, and they say it went off of Dowling. So the other way we go. Saints a very athletic team. They come in. They've won 3 out of 4 over Dowling Catholic. And the last meeting was 9 years ago. Dowling won here on a Saturday afternoon. And the Maroons had to come from behind to get the only win in that series. Stevie Sarcone comes off the bench and scores 9. A little research project.
Oh, my
on.
goodness.
Corner 3, no good by Wilgenbush. Rebound Dowling. Yeah, I had to search that. Martin's with it. Now gets in the corner for 3 by Paoli. It's no good. Hold shooting by Dowling. Can't wait to hear those numbers, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's funny that, you mentioned about Stevie Sarcone. I'm sure you did very little research. In fact, I'm sure Stevie called you and let you know.
I had 9 points off the bench, and then I got to start the rest of the next 2 weeks until he got into Coach O'Connor's doghouse, and he was coming off the bench.
Oh, that's fantastic. Stevie Sarcone is the head sophomore coach, and so I listened to a little bit of his history and when he played. And that's the nice thing about the atmosphere and the coaching staffs around here is many of these former coaches are former athletes here at Dowling, and so understand a little bit of the culture.
All right, Wilgenbush gets loose underneath. His shot up and no good, or is good, and a full timeout called by Dowling, and head coach Justin Einertson not very happy. We're going to take a 1-minute break, 4:07 to go, first quarter here at the Dowling Gym. Cedar Rapids Xavier 7, Dowling 1, and we'll return after this break on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for programming comes from Klein Electric, a local family-oriented electrical contractor, a 100% employee-owned company with branches across the Midwest to provide comprehensive electrical services. Klein Electric is able to help with any residential and commercial project. Learn more at kleinelectric.com.
Fast Signs is a custom sign and visual solutions company with an extensive selection of digital signage, interior and exterior signs, banners, and vehicle wraps. Learn more at fastsigns.com. Thank you, Fast Signs in Clive, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Bozen the Florist. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, weddings, whatever the message, say more with Bozen. Bozen.com. 515-244-ROSE. Bozen makes the moment mean more.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
And we're back here at the Dowling Gym, and a three-pointer left wing up and good by, first man off the bench, Gio Keelis, second man off the bench, and Keelis for 3, and that's his 10th 3 of the year. And it cuts the Xavier lead to 7-4. Dowling comes out with a little bit of pressure, and a whistle and a foul on the Maroons, or whistle it on. Noah Martin's his first, 14th foul here in the first quarter on Dowling, 2 on Xavier. Jimmy?
Keelis took the lid off the basket. Dowling's first field goal in the first 4 minutes of the game. So the Maroons stone cold, but still only down 3 with about 3.5 to go in the first.
Lorenzo Pino and Caleb Wilgenbush has a foul each for Xavier here in the first quarter. Now in the lane, a shot up and good by Jack Downey off the bench. He's one of the captains, but Jimmy, they bring him off the bench and he scores there.
Well, a lot of athletes in this Xavier team. They got the leading quarterback on their team. They got the leading running back for Xavier on their team. So great athletes over here at Xavier.
And Keelis misses underneath, and now with the rebound is Dowling, and a putback by Paoli is blocked into the hands of Jack Downey. And Xavier, Downey off the bench underneath Wilgenbush. His shot up and good. He gets by his defender.
Maroons a little bit slow to cut up their dribble drive. Somebody's got to step in, stop that hard drive to the basket, force them to kick the ball out.
The lead is 7 for Xavier. Now we got a loose ball foul. Keelis' three-pointer from the corner is no good, but a whistle and a foul on Aiden Miller, one of the starters for Xavier.
Team foul number 3 for the Saints in the first quarter, so still not in the double bonus as we call it, but the Maroons with the ball down 11-4.
Enzo inbound the ball. That is the third team foul on Xavier. And now we're going to reset.
I think one advantage you got for Xavier is that they go 9 deep in their lineup, where the Maroons so far early in this season have seemed to go about 7 deep. So much more fresh guys for Xavier, especially when they're full court pressing the Maroons.
A good point. Keep in mind there'll be back-to-back games for everybody in this tournament. Again, in Game 1, it was Kemper Catholic out of Carroll defeating Bishop Heelan of Sioux City 73-46 in Game 1. The winner, or Heelan, will play in the championship tomorrow at 1:30 here at Dowling, and rather Kemper will play at 1:30. Heelan will play at noon tomorrow. Now Capola for 3 left wing, and it's no good. And rebound Dowling and Keyless. Gio with it. Gets it up to Martins. Now he'll launch a 3 good right in front of the Saints bench. And Noah Martins with his 4th point of the night.
Such a big shot by Martins, especially early in the game as Xavier starts spreading out this lead. Maroons now cut it down to 4.
Knights with it. Here's A.J. Evans. Dowling stays man-to-man. They get it out to Jack Downey, one of the captains, but coming off the bench. Here's Evans backing in against Moore. Quincy cuts off the baseline. Nice job out of him. 15 on the shot clock. Dribble drive is Pino. His shot up too strong. Rebound slapped around, and Capola comes away with it. Maddox now will take the ball in the front court for Dowling. Xavier in a man-to-man. Now dribble driving is Martins. Noah kicks it out to Capola, and he gets down the lane. His shot up, no good. Might have been partially blocked. Rebound comes out to the Saints. Nice move by Capola, but he didn't finish it. And Xavier now with it. Now a lob pass underneath to Evans. They throw it away.
I think Maddox pulling that last shot was thinking that goaltend has Wilgenbush got really high up on the rim. Looked like he got a little bit of it off the backboard, but no call.
1-2-2, full court press by Xavier. They're trying to trap in the corner. And now the Maroons dribble away from that. Here's Jenkins with it. Dribbles all the way underneath the basket. Kicks it out. Now in the corner for Keyless for 3. It's up and no good. Fight for the rebound, and it's out of bounds. Good hustle that time by Noah Martins, but he slapped it out of bounds as Lucas Paoli checks back into the Dowling lineup, replacing Nathan Jenkins.
Maroons are passing the ball real well around the perimeter, but once you get that open shot, I would take the ball to the basket where they are so dangerous going north-south to the basket. Just on the year so far, I mean, they're 27% from the three-point arc. They've taken the ball to the basket as hard as you can. Look for the kick out or penetrating back into the back door has been their strength.
Our score is 11-7. Cedar Rapids Xavier over Dowling. Now in the lane, a shot up and no good as Wilgenbush takes it to the hole and drew the foul. Boy, Wilgenbush listed at 6 foot, but he's playing like he's 6'5" in the paint. Foul on Dowling. It'll be on Paoli, his first. And his runs over the 5 foul limit, so it'll be double bonus the rest away for the Saints. And the first free throw good by Wilgenbush. He has 5 points tonight. Nice game in Iowa Catholic Radio, brought to you in part by Catholic Tuition Organization. Fast Signs in Clive, Mercy One, and Skeffington's Formal Wear. Second free throw good by Wilgenbush. He has 6 points. And it's 13-7. Xavier by 6. Full court pressure by the Saints. Dowling breaks it. Underneath. They get it to Moore. Layup good. Or check that. Charlie Crane back in and scores.
Tremendous pass by Martins.
Maroons trying to take advantage here in the final minute. Put Crane back in. Now a steal by Dowling. Here's Martins with the steal. Layup good. So Dowling on a 4-0 run. Martins with his 6 point. That's 13-11. Xavier's lead now down to 2. After leading by 7 here in this first quarter. Final 20 seconds. Shot clock off. Here's Wilgenbush with it. Dowling's got to be careful if they attack Crane here. Crane guarding Lee Gomez, who's now in at center. Gomez, a 6'3 senior, replacing Evans. Now corner 3 by the Saints, no good. Keyless with the rebound, lost it out of bounds, and the quarter will end with the score. Cedar Rapids Xavier 13, Dowling Catholic 11. We go to the second quarter from the Dowling Gym at the Catholic Classic alongside Jimmy Cataldo. I'm Mark Amadeo. Vinny Cataldo on our board. Oh my goodness.
Nepotism at its best.
Wow. We'll return in 1 minute on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Faith Check with Greg Yule on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Welcome to this Faith Check. For centuries, Catholic priests, monks, and nuns sanctified their day by praying the Psalms. This practice was inherited from the Jews who prayed at set times in the temple. The Western Church was largely influenced by the Benedictine monks who immersed themselves in the Psalms 7 times each day in addition to Mass and private prayer. The Church today encourages the laity to pray a shorter form of this called the Liturgy of the Hours. The 2 major parts of this are called morning prayer and evening prayer, and there are also readings for each day corresponding to the seasons of the Church's liturgical calendar. Praying the Liturgy of the Hours can be a powerful tool. It helps us acquire the discipline of regular prayer. It fills our hearts and minds with Scripture as we go about our day. I once heard a priest say every single priest he knew who had left the priesthood had stopped praying his daily office of prayer. For more info, talk to your priest or a Catholic bookstore, and cover your household in spiritual protection each day with the Mass, Rosary, and the Liturgy of the Hours. This is Greg Ewell for Faith Check.
And we're back here at the Dowling Catholic High School Gym. West Des Moines, the Catholic Classic moving on. Game 2. It's Dowling and Cedar Rapids Xavier. Xavier leads it 13-11. We start the second quarter with Dowling having possession of the basketball. Charlie Crane gets the start with 2 fouls here, Jimmy.
Xavier coming out with kind of a matchup zone, 2-3 zone for the Maroons, pushing them outside the arc.
All right, Paoli dribble drives in the lane, gets it to Crane. Charlie with it, and a jump ball is called. One extra dribble. And anytime a big guy usually has the ball on the ground, somebody's going to come and dig down and tie you up, and that's what happened.
Great idea by Paoli. He took the ball to the basket, tried to work around Charlie Crane as he was cutting down the backside. Just didn't keep the ball above his head.
All right, here's Xander Murray back in for the Saints. Leads the team in 3-pointers. He's been guarded by Paoli. Dribble handoff goes to Wilgenbus, and he has a ball stolen away. Coppola with the steal. His shot up and no good. Drew the foul. The foul will be on Lorenzo Pino, his second for Cedar Rapids Xavier, and free throws coming for Maddox Coppola.
The Maroons have really kept themselves into this game on the product of Xavier's turnovers. Xavier has 6 turnovers in that first quarter. 7 now for the game because they picked one up here in the second quarter.
And Maddox's first free throw, good. That's his first point of the night. Did you get all your stats in? I don't want to deprive you of knowledge that
you're not as sharp as you were before the break, but no, I didn't. But
you could get them in now.
So real quick, Maroons go 4-15 from the field. Just 2 of 9, shot 9 3-pointers in the first quarter. 7 rebounds and 4 turnovers. Xavier, 5 of 8 from the field, 4 rebounds, and as I mentioned, 6 turnovers in the first quarter. 1 so far in the second.
All right, they lob it into Evans. He gets caught underneath the basket. Good job by Crane if he can keep him there. And finally gets out of the lane, kicks it out to Xander Murray. 15 on the shot clock. Here's Wilgenbush, top of the key. Swings it left side to Pino. Pino inside to Evans. Works against Crane. Pull-up jumper, missed everything. Fight for the rebound, loose on the floor. Crane comes away with it. Charlie with it, down court, layup up, good. Nice feed from Crane to Lucas Paoli with his first basket. And the Maroons have their first lead of the night, 15-13.
Certainly what the Maroons do well is transition basketball. Get out and run as much as you can, and that's what the Maroons do so well.
Right in the lane, a shot no good by Xander Murray. It was blocked from behind by Dowling, and a rebound out to the Maroons. Dowling going with Lucas Paoli, Gio Keelis, Charlie Crane. Now with the basketball, Nathan Jenkins and Maddox Coppola, the 5 on the floor for Dowling. It looks like Xavier might be in a 2-3 zone.
Well, as you look at Dowling on film, force them to shoot the 3-point shot.
Now the ball knocked out of bounds by Xavier as crashing down is A.J. Evans. Free substitution for Dowling. Keelis will check out, and checking back in is Noah Martins for the Maroons. So Dowling has their point guard back on the floor. Quincy Moore on the bench. He had some nice minutes there. Dowling by 2. We're underway here in the second quarter. Shot clock violation on Dowling. One of those things when you inbound the pass, somebody's got to say, hey, we only got 2 seconds or whatever it was, Jimmy.
We talked about the communication is so critical for the Maroons. Didn't see a ton of it early in the season. And I know that's something that's been emphasized by Coach Einertson, but somebody's got to be communicating on the floor. What is the shot clock? And let's run the play to get the ball off.
There's Murray for 3 right wing. No good. He's our leading 3-point maker. And a whistle and a foul in the backcourt on Aiden Miller. That'll be his second foul.
Maroons are doing so well right now, keeping Murray at bay. Murray's leading Xavier with 15 points per game. Xander Murray is, and the Maroons have kept him down to no points so far. Almost halfway through the second quarter.
That's the second team foul on Xavier here in the second quarter. Dowling with none. Xavier drops back to man as they do take off the press. And now here's Coppola with the dribbles to the top of the key in the corner for 3. It's no good by Nathan Jenkins, and the rebound out to the Saints. And Carter Hoffman, who's in there for head coach Mike Freeman. And now the Saints throw it away. And we've got a timeout called by Xavier, and this will be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here with the score. Dowling 15, Cedar Rapids Xavier 13. Mark Amadale alongside Jimmy Cataldo. And, Coach, what do you say about this first quarter? The Maroons trailed 13-11 at the quarter, but now they've taken the lead and held Xavier scoreless here in the first 2.5 minutes of the second quarter.
You really just have not seen much difference in what you saw before the break as to after the break with the Maroons. It's just what do they do well and where do they fail. And I think the one thing they do so well is transition basketball. Is when they get the rebound, they got to go. They got to run. And this is a very, very athletic team that, their strength is running. And then when they slow things down and force teams to get into some zone, get into some half-court press, that's when the Maroons aren't playing their best basketball. So Maroons got to see where they do well, and when they get rebounds, they got to start running.
Other games going on tonight. Girl-boy doubleheader. Number 1 Johnston at number 4 Ankeny Centennial. That was a girl-boy matchup. And also a girl-boy matchup. 8th ranked Waukee at Urbandale. These are the rankings out of the girls. The boys' rankings come out tomorrow. I did find that out today. So thanks to my buddy in Eastern Iowa. I was wondering, where are the boys' rankings from the state? Now Dowling with the ball. The timeout. Three-pointer no good by Martins. And a rebound out to Xavier. Saints with it in the front court. Now Wilgenbush dribbled all the way down and got cut off that time by Paoli, and he has to kick it back out. Now they swing it to the left wing. With it is Downey, who's back in. Downey really gave him a spark at one time and gave the Saints a 7-point lead. They took him out, and Dowling's got the lead. He might be one of those glue factors for a team, if you will. All right, here's Wilgenbush, dribbled in the lane, his shot up, no good. Fight for the rebound, and Crane rips it away for the Maroons, and Dowling goes the other way. There's Martins with it to Coppola. 4:15 to go in the half. 15-13 Dowling. We've been stuck on that score for a while. Dowling in the corner. Here's Jenkins with it. Nathan backs in, kicks it out to Coppola. Maddox for 3. It's off the mark, no good. And the rebound out to Carter Hoffman. Down court to Murray. Murray inside. A shot blocked by Charlie Crane. That was Evans' shot who had it blocked. Rebound Dowling and Coppola. Maddox in the front court. Now he's double teamed. Xavier did a nice job, Jimmy, getting back. Coppola in the lane. His shot no good. And a whistle and a foul on Xavier. Maroons got their transition going, but Xavier got back.
Yeah, but you love to see Maddox taking the ball to the basket. And Maddox, you can just tell what's going through his mind. He has got off to the best of starts of this year. But the one thing he is doing well is attacking the basket. His strength, his size can really be an advantage for himself if he gets the confidence to know that he can take the ball to the basket, draw fouls, and go to the free throw line as he's doing.
Polo's first free throw is good. Maddox's third point of the night, all 3 at the free throw line. Tonight's game in the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, brought to you in part by Blessman International, Construction Professionals, Bozen the Florist, Ashworth Vision Clinic. Thanks to our supporters all season long. Coppola makes both free throws. 4 for 4 tonight for Maddox Coppola. He's taken out of the game. Dowling with a 4-point lead with 3:35 to go here in the second quarter. Xavier with the basketball. Saints with it. They move the ball over to Carter Hoffman. Swings it over to Murray. Back up top. Crane deflects it. 15 on the shot clock. Here's Murray with it as they get it back across the line. And now Evans backs in and has the shot blocked by Crane. Charlie looks like a different guy after he gets his first foul. Then he gets his second foul. When he's playing with 2 fouls, he's looking pretty aggressive, Jimmy.
But as a coach, I'm sitting there grinning my teeth because you're hoping to goodness he doesn't pick up his third foul into the second quarter. And the one thing I think Charlie can be doing better is denying the pass inside. He's allowing Evans to get position on him.
And there's Murray for 3, and it's good. That's his 10th 3 of the year. It leads the Xavier team. I told you, you got to keep an eye on him, and he took almost a quarter and a half to do it. 3 minutes to play, and it's 17-16. Dowling by 1 here in the first half. The other way we go. Dowling with the ball. Backing in is Martins. Kicks it back out to Jenkins. Nathan down the lane and drew the foul. Contact as he went to the basket, says Joey Townsell. And it'll be the 14th foul on Xavier. Non-shooting foul will be Dowling basketball out of bounds as Jack Downey picks up his first foul.
The Maroons are getting fouls every time they take the ball to the basket. That's just something they got to start playing on. They got to see that Xavier is struggling guarding them as they're going downhill to the basket, forcing them with the body and getting the fouls.
All right, Dowling throwing the ball in. Martins inbounds it. Gets to Keyless. Gio with it. Now he'll launch the three. It's up good. Gio Keyless. Smooth shot, and that is his second three of the night and his 11th of the season. Now the other way we go. Here's a shot in the lane by Evans, no good. Dowling 20. And Xavier 16, 2.5 to go in the second quarter. Here is underneath, a shot off the glass, no good by Murray, rolls off the rim. Evans with the rebound, kicks it back out to Murray for three. It's no good, right in front of the Dowling bench and out of bounds to Xavier. Well, good hustle by the Maroons, but Xavier very active underneath.
Yeah, the Maroons really not looking for a guy to block out, and that's something you got to do. Is you're looking, shot going up, you got to find the guy nearest to you, block him out, get a body on them, make sure that the ball gets into your possession on the defensive rebound.
All right, Paoli and Crane check out of the Dowling lineup. Maddox Coppola enters the game. Now Xavier with it. Underneath by Evans, and they're going to wave it off. Traveling by Evans. Drug that pivot foot, another Xavier turnover.
Well, a great substitution by Coach Anderson, getting Charlie Crane out of the game with 2 minutes to go in the half with 2 fouls. Charlie was struggling facing A.J. Evans, and A.J.'s getting that ball down close to the block as he did there, but great defense by Quincy Moore.
All right, Coppola gets it in the front court after some token pressure in the backcourt by Xavier. They bring a little bit of everything. Here's Jenkins with it for Dowling to Keyless. Gio with it. Kept his pivot foot, says Tyler Brady, one of the veteran officials, and now he drug his pivot foot in the high post as he had his back to the basket.
It's just something you don't see much in Central Iowa is a 2-3 zone. And we talked earlier is how does Eastern Iowa play versus Central and Western Iowa, and what you're seeing out of Xavier is jumping into a 2-3 zone, which is causing the Maroons a little bit of issue.
Turnover against Dowling, so Xavier with the basketball. And this is Aiden Miller with it, and his lob pass underneath. Try to hit the big guy, Evans, and goes Array. Threw it away. It'll be Dowling basketball with a minute and a half to go in the half. Dowling 20, Xavier 16. The Maroons' largest lead is right now at 4 points. Xavier's largest lead with 7 points back in the first quarter. Dowling breaking the press. Quincy Moore across the timeline. Dowling reverses back out to Martins between the circles, and Maroons will set up their offense against this man-to-man. Maroons run their guard weave, if you will. With it is Martins. Now gives to Keyless for three, left wing. It's no good, and the rebound ripped out of there by Xander Murray. Xavier the other way. Here's Wilgenbush in the front court. Under a minute to play here in the first half. With it is Murray. Dribbles baseline, is cut off by Coppola. Kicks it back out to Miller. Right side it goes to Downey. 15 on the shot clock. A shot in the lane up and good by the Saints. Wilgenbush dribble drive in the lane. He picked up the foul, and that'll be on Quincy Moore, his first.
Some things you see out of Wilgenbush throughout the year, shooting 65% from the field. We don't see that kind of shooting accuracy in too many teams we play here in Central Iowa, but this young man's shooting the ball really well, taking the ball to the basket. 8 points in the first half.
All right, free throws coming, or a free throw coming, as Wilgenbush has 8 points in the contest. First team foul on Dowling with 43 seconds left in the second quarter. Free throw good. 9 points for Wilgenbush. Charlie Crane back in. Quincy Moore out for the Maroons. All right, the Maroons with the basketball. Paoli back in. This to Coppola. Maddox cut off. Now dribbles baseline. And steps on the end line. Steps on the baseline, rather. It'll be Xavier basketball.
2-3 zone, or the 1-2-2 zone that Xavier's putting on the Maroons, causing a little bit of issues. But I think where the Maroons are failing is they're getting the ball to the middle. You get the way up at the top of the key, maybe half court. They get the dribble, but they don't attack the basket. They pass it off to the side. You got to go downhill when you get the man beat at half court.
20 seconds remaining in the first half. The winner will meet Carol Kemper tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 right here at the Dowling Gym in the Catholic Classic Finals. And the loser of tonight's game, as we got a whistle and a foul. Dowling has a few fouls to give, and they took one right there. Nathan Jenkins picking up his first. The loser will play Bishop Heelan tomorrow at noon here at the Dowling Gym. And I guess there's a preliminary game before that. Kevin O'Hare and the Dowling ninth graders play Roosevelt here tomorrow morning.
And then you got the sophomores are playing
in the other gym.
In the other gym,
yep.
with Carol Kemper and Bishop Heelan. It's a really cool event that the Maroons are putting on. You don't see this too often. The baseball team has a Catholic Classic that they put on, but it's really neat to see that the basketball has taken that tradition on, bringing these different schools from around Iowa here to Central Iowa and playing in a common tournament.
All right, final shot of the half. It's no good, right in front of us by Xander Murray. So we go into halftime with Dowling Catholic leading Xavier 20-19 as the Maroons hold the Saints to 6 points in that second quarter. Dowling outscoring the Saints 9-6. Our halftime guest is Holly Coppola, is scheduled to be with us. Talk more about the Catholic Classic and what Holly's role was with that and some of the things she's done here at Dowling Catholic High School. And she's right here. So we're going to take a 2-minute break and return. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo, our halftime score, Dowling 20 and Cedar Rapids Xavier 19. And we want to thank Mr. Cataldo, Vinny Cataldo back on the board tonight. And we'll return in 2 minutes on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from the Catholic Tuition Organization. Reduce or eliminate your Iowa income tax and instead give to the Catholic Tuition Organization and receive 75% Iowa tax credits. These tax credits are going fast, so reserve yours today and learn more about the Catholic Tuition Organization at ctoiowa.org. ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their futures.
Catholic Tuition Organization, a great investment in our kids.
Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. cpcustomhomes.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. ashworthvision.com.
This is Dale Ahlquist with a Chesterton Christmas Minute. G.K. Chesterton says that it's become a bad habit in our society to celebrate Christmas before it comes. We've forgotten the glory of anticipation. The presents should not be opened until Christmas. That, of course, is part of the excitement. And while we know the gifts are coming, Chesterton reminds us that the best kind of gift is the surprise gift. And if we have the right perspective, we should look at everything as a gift and every gift as a surprise gift. We are happy to wake up on Christmas morning and find gifts in our stockings, but the best gift we could ever find in our stockings is our own 2 legs. Want more than a minute? Visit our website, chesterton.org.
Back to the Dowling Catholic Gym here in West Des Moines. Vinny Cataldo spinning the tunes. That's from your era, Jimmy.
It's a Friday night for Vinny. This is an exciting night for him.
He did a great job with that music. I love it.
And after this, he's probably going to go bowl 200 with the bumpers up.
Wow. Oh, you just throw your family under the bus? I'm surprised they let you in.
It's entertaining.
Where did you celebrate Christmas if you were acting like that?
Oh,
did you have to go across the street to the neighbors?
Well, I did.
Yeah, I figured that.
I did.
Uh-huh.
We shared a common book that everybody's talking about.
We're at halftime here at the Dowling Gym. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo. Our halftime scorer here at the Catholic Classic is Dowling 20 and Cedar Rapids Xavier 19. Our guest is Holly Coppola. Yes, we've talked about her son a little bit, Maddox, one of her sons, Maddox. We talked about Joey for the last 5 years, wasn't it? I think. Didn't he get a red shirt, Jimmy? We had him on quite a bit.
That's right, we did.
Holly, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
I know you're battling a little bit of laryngitis.
I'm getting over it.
And we'll make it work. But hey, let's talk about some of the stuff you're doing around the special events part here at Dowling Catholic High School. And I know Coach Wilson, when he let me know about this a little bit a while ago, he said, Holly Coppola, said, perfect person for this. Talk about your role here at Dowling and what you're doing.
Well, about a couple years ago, Coach Wilson, or I should say AD Wilson, came to me and, they had some marketing needs going on in the athletic department that they just couldn't get their arms around. And my background is in marketing and public relations. And so I just kind of came in and took a look at what they had going on, what some opportunities that they could maybe explore more, and then just how we can build the overall athletic budget.
Well, you're seeing that because you come to the gym and you look at the big board and you got all the ads running through that. That didn't come overnight, and that didn't come by a little bit of work and a lot of hard work.
Yeah, we've opened up a lot of sponsorships here. If you walk around our athletic campus, you'll see that the softball, baseball, football fields all have new sponsorships, new advertisers. You know, we needed to get those refreshed and renewed, and that's been really good. We have some great supporters at Dowling Catholic, as you guys know. So it's not a hard sell, but, you know, we're always looking for new sponsors.
What do you find? You look at the Dowling community, and you can go through. They have a map in the school that tells where the alumni is and what states they're in, and it's all over the nation where the Dowling community lies. But knowing that the Dowling brand, the challenges that you have in fundraising, where do you find the challenges when you got a great brand and you have a lot of support throughout the community? What are some of the challenges you find in marketing Dowling Catholic? Well,
I mean, certainly our facilities and our fields, you know, we don't have a whole football field dedicated just to Dowling. We don't have, multiple gym spaces like some of these other schools do. Hopefully that'll come one day. But so that always presents challenges. But, you know, the biggest thing that we have is people who believe in our mission. And, you know, we have a lot of great alumni. Blue Compass is sponsoring this tournament, and Gary Capola is an alumni. He's proud of his school. So you have a lot of people who just want to give back to Dowling, just to give back.
So you look at the sponsorships and what that went in. Talk about some of the things that you guys are doing as that organization in bringing this tournament to Dowling.
Yeah, so with Blue Compass's help, we were able to provide T-shirts for all 4 teams. And that, I think it's the Catholic Classic is something really special when you can bring together four teams that are all rooted in our Catholic values. I think that is really special. So we wanted to do a couple of extra things for them. There'll be a trophy presentation. There'll be photos. We've got the sophomores playing in the other gym. We've got warm-up shooting shirts given to them. And, we're certainly thankful for these Catholic teams who came into Des Moines to play.
Is the Capola family going to have a big pasta dinner? Because I didn't get my invite. But if we're doing that with this whole team, I may sneak in.
We've already had one pasta dinner, and I will like to say that we beat Valley the next night.
Awesome.
So you can say it's not the pasta, but
there's a reason for that, because he wasn't invited over there, Mr. Cataldo.
Probably.
You look, this is all, the Catholic Classic with Bishop Heelan out of Sioux City, Kemper Catholic from Carroll, and Cedar Rapids Xavier along with Dowling, the host school. But the sophomore boys are also playing in this boys tournament. So you've got an opportunity to see both, some future Maroons, some future Knights and Saints.
We do. And, I will say, I was real sad Denny O'Grady couldn't be here tonight, because this combines Kemper Catholic with Dowling Catholic, and I was so looking forward to having this on our schedule for Denny. So he's definitely missed tonight.
No question, but I guarantee he would know all these families sitting amongst us here. The Kemper Knight fans were ahead of us in game 1, and I bet he knew half of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but I'll take you guys.
Yeah. Well, Holly, let's talk about, you mentioned putting this on, the Catholic Classic. You mentioned a lot of the things that you're involved with special events, but getting this put on, because as Jimmy said earlier before you got on mic, he talked about they've done it in baseball, and now we're doing something like this in basketball.
So I guess they did start this back when Coach O.C. was a coach, and it kind of started then, and then it kind of took a break, and then Coach Einerson wanted to bring it back. So he kind of reached out to some teams and, to see what we could do to bring it back. So I think that's really great, and Dowling being centrally located is nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Holly, any final words before we let you go?
I got a question for Holly. My goodness.
Well, don't grill her. This is not.
Well, but I'm interested, because her son Joey was such a big part of the Dowling basketball community and the culture for several years. Want to get an update on Joey What's he doing?
Well, I hope tomorrow to watch him play. He's been playing some JV and some varsity, a little bit of both, but he loves University of Dubuque, loves his team, his teammates. So we're happy. We're excited.
It was interesting pulling the UNI, University of Northern Iowa, when Dubuque played him and saw Joey's name in there. I thought, oh my goodness, he's getting in there with the big boys, he's handling himself well. I follow Joey a lot on his statistics, and hope we get a chance to see him play in the next couple of weeks, because I'm now calling up on Dubuque and doing some overnights in Dubuque. Yes.
We'd love that. Yes, he'd love that. You never know. And let's see if Maddox can have himself a half here.
That's right. Well, the Maroons leading by 1 here at halftime. Holly, thanks for joining us. I know you're very busy.
Hey,
thanks for making Iowa Catholic Radio part of this.
Yes, thanks to Iowa Catholic Radio for all you guys did.
Absolutely.
All year round. Your sponsorship of the Athlete of the Month was key this year.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
All right, Holly, thank you.
Thanks so much.
Holly Coppola joined us here at halftime. We're going to take a break, come back with the second half. Dowling taking on Cedar Rapids Xavier. The Maroons lead 20-19 here at halftime. Back in 1 minute on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
KWKY Des Moines, K233BT Des Moines, KIHS Adel. Encounter the Eucharist, an evening with Father Mike Schmitz, Wednesday, April 2nd at the Iowa Event Center in downtown Des Moines. This limited seating event allows for an intimate conversation about faith that will inspire a deeper relationship with Jesus.
When you see the Lord lifted up like this, you are looking at Calvary. You're participating in his restoration of the world.
Encounter the Eucharist, an evening with Father Mike Schmitz. Go to iowacatholicradio.com and reserve your seat now. Presented by BSB Design.
Brightside Aesthetics by Ducharme Dermatology provides advanced and medical aesthetics, body contouring, wellness, and spa services. Learn more at brightsideiowa.com. Thank you, Brightside Aesthetics, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One. We all want to live our best life. That's why Mercy One offers compassionate, personalized care when and where you need it. Schedule online at mercyone.org.
And we're back here at the Dowling Gym, underway in the second half. Dowling 23 and Cedar Rapids Xavier 19. Maroons scoring on a three-pointer by Charlie Crane, his fifth point. And now the Maroons scoring again off Charlie Crane in transition. As you talked about earlier, Crane with all 5 of Dowling's points in the third quarter, Jimmy.
We talked about earlier, Charlie's ability to hit the three-point shot really is a difference between him and A.J. Evans. It's really being able to push him outside, and Charlie hits his first shot outside the arc.
Martins pokes the ball away into the hands of Crane. They give it back to Martins. Layup good. So Noah with his 8th point. Crane now with 7 points, and Dowling out to a 27-19 lead. Timeout. Cedar Rapids Xavier as the Maroons on a 7-0 run to start the second half. Mark Amadale and Jimmy Cataldo with you. Vinny Cataldo on the board. Let's go through our first half statistics, Jimmy, for our listeners at home.
Certainly. So the Dowling Maroons first half stats go 6 of 21 from the field, which included 14 three-point shots. Only hit 3 of them. 10 total rebounds and 7 turnovers. Doing a great job holding onto the ball, the Maroons, in the first half. For Cedar Rapids Xavier, first half, 7 of 17 from the field. They had 10 rebounds and 12 turnovers in the first half alone. So Maroons were able to really expand or get this game close and then expand their lead on the product of Cedar Rapids Xavier's turnovers.
All right, let's take a look at some of the scoring in the first half. For Xavier, their leading scorer was Caleb Wilgenbush, the 6-foot senior with 9 points at halftime. A.J. Evans, their 6'8 junior post player, with 5 points at halftime. 3 points for Xander Murray and 2 points for Jack Downey. The Saints were 4 of 6 the free throw line. For Dowling, the Maroons' leading scorer at halftime was Noah Martins and Gio Keelis off the bench. Both had 6 points. 4 points for Maddox Coppola on 4 free throws. 2 points for Charlie Crane at halftime and 2 points for Lucas Paoli. That has now changed. Noah Martins with 8 points and Crane with 7, as Crane has 5 of his 7 points here in the third quarter. Dowling out in a little 1-3-1 zone with an 8-point lead.
We talked about it going into the break, is why don't you see the Maroons do more zone? And they just thought they needed to work on it more, and that's probably one of the reasons why they don't do zone so much.
Corner 3 from the right side, good by Xander Murray, and he is that's his 11th 3 of the year. He leads the Xavier team in threes. That might be the reason. Maybe it's just one look. We'll see. Dowling with the ball the other way as Here is Coppola with it. Maddox coming off a ball screen by Noah Martins at the high post. Gets in the corner right side to Jenkins. Jenkins back to Coppola. Saints in a man-to-man defense. Now dribble driving the lane is Jenkins. Kicks it out to Paoli. Inside, and they're going to wave it off as the shot was no good. It just hit the backboard, and a shot clock violation on Dowling, and pretty good defense there by the Saints.
Usually with the shot clock, you usually get a number about 10 seconds from the bench. Understand, hey, you got 10 seconds because they're not always looking at that clock, and usually get a call that there's 5, and really didn't get a call until about 5 seconds. The Maroons didn't on offense.
And Saints with it. Here's Lorenzo Pino, one of the starters, in to start the second half. Xander Murray top of the key. They play catch along with Aiden Miller, the 3-play catch, and now Pino takes it in the lane. His shot up and good. Dribble penetration by Lorenzo Pino, who was held scoreless at halftime. One of 2 starters that was held scoreless at halftime. Aiden Miller the other. Now full court pressure by the Saints. Dowling. Corner 3 by Paoli. Good from the left wing. Lucas Paoli with his 5th point and his 5th 3 of the year.
I think there's a little bit of, several steps to get the feet set. I think Xavier's looking for a travel, but tremendous shot by Paoli, getting his feet set.
He did that while the ball was in the air. That's the trick there. All right, Xavier the other way. Dowling 30, Xavier 24. They work it inside, and a whistle and a loose ball foul on Xavier and A.J. Evans. As he was battling Crane, Evans missed the shot. Crane got the rebound and then picked up the offensive foul on the loose ball.
Just the first foul on A.J. Evans, something we talked about again at pregame, that A.J. Evans does a great job of keeping himself out of foul trouble as he has throughout the year. He's averaging just over 2 fouls a game, and for a big man, athletic individual, keeps himself on the floor.
Game 1 was won by the Kemper Knights of Carroll. They defeated Sioux City Heelan 73-46. So Kemper will play the winner of this game tomorrow at 1:30. And now the Saints with a steal. The other way we go. And now a block shot by Crane. Keyless for 3. Good. So Dowling makes him pay on the back end.
Tremendous job transition by the Maroons off a block by Charlie Crane. I believe that's his 6th block.
Offensive foul called on the Saints. And they're going to whistle it on A.J. Evans. That'll be his 2nd foul. 2 fouls in a minute on Evans. And we're going to have a technical foul called on the bench.
I think they're going to call it on Xander Murray.
Oh, okay. So that goes against him. That's his first foul. And Keyless will shoot the technical.
A little bit of that transpons from the first half. Xander was in disagreement with a couple fouls called, was conversational with the officials, which was great. And I think at that point here in the second half, got his emotions got best of him and got teed up for it.
All right, Keyless hits the first free throw. He has 10 points off the bench for Dowling tonight. Second one up, good. Keyless with 11 points. Are you making sure my math is the same as Mr. Crandall's math that's going up on the board?
Well, you got to understand.
We're going to do that again. We're going through this again.
Mr. Crandall is now Grandpa Crandall 2 times
right.
over.
That's right.
He had a granddaughter over the holidays. Right. Actually, January 1.
Congratulations, Todd and his family, the Crandall family. And now Dowling with the 3-pointer by Keyless, no good out of the technical foul. Maroons have possession. Xavier with the ball, and in the front court, here's Miller. Jump stops in the lane, a little up and under move. His shot blocked by Crane. He took one extra step, and Crane got it. Dowling in transition. Here's Jenkins with it. Dribbles baseline is Paoli, kicks it out to Keel. Over in the corner, here's Jenkins for 3. Good! Nathan Jenkins with his first 3 of the night, his 4th of the year, and Dowling has opened up the lead of 38-24, a 14-point Dowling lead. And boy, just like that, 30-second timeout. We will keep it here. And the Maroons are doing it with, as you said, Jimmy, the transition, but they're knocking down shots when they're open.
Well, you said it there. They're knocking down the 3-point shot. I think that's their 4th 3-point shot made here in the 3rd quarter alone. And when the Maroons can hit those outside shots, they're really tough in transition, taking the ball to the basket. But if they can hit those kick-out shots, that's when they're most dangerous.
All right, other games tonight. We mentioned Johnson at Ankeny Centennial in a girl-boy doubleheader. Waukee at Urbandale in a girl-boy doubleheader. Girls only game, Ankeny at Waukee Northwest, and that game tipped off right around 7:45. Yesterday at Wells Fargo Arena, Southeast Polk defeated Indianola in a girl-boy doubleheader. The girls game, Southeast Polk 66-30 over Indianola, and the boys game 64-56. The Rams defeated Indianola, and that'll be Dowling's next conference game Monday night, and we'll be at Southeast Polk. That is a venue change. Dowling at Southeast Polk Monday night, and we'll have both games on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. All right, out of the timeout, the Saints with the basketball, trailing by 14. Cedar Rapids Xavier has 2 timeouts remaining. Dowling has 4. And we have 2:45 left here in the third quarter. Saints going right to left towards the south basket here at the Dowling gym. Corner 3 up and no good by Aiden Miller, and the ball safe from going out of bounds by Charlie Crane. Into the hands of Martins, and he dribbles down court and draws the foul.
Maroons have really caused a lot of issues with Xavier as they take the ball to the basket, getting a lot of body, and the officials are calling it.
Penal picks up the foul. That's his third. And they say it was on the pass, not a shot. So the Maroons will inbound the ball. Substitutions coming in for both teams. Maddox Capola in for Dowling, and he'll replace Nathan Jenkins. Now here's Crane with it on the right block. Guarded by Evans, and now the ball safe and going in the backcourt. Dowling with it. Now pull-up jumper by Martins up, no good. Fight for the rebound, and Jack Downey in there takes it away. Xavier in the front court. Here's Hoffman with it, who's back in. They work underneath to Evans. He draws the foul, and that'll be on Crane, his third. And A.J. Evans will go to the free throw line.
Fantastic job by A.J. Evans, really working Charlie Crane down almost below the basket, where it makes it almost impossible for him to leave his feet. The only thing he could do is reach over. And A.J. Evans draws the foul.
Evans' first free throw, no good. Evans had 5 points in the first half. All of his points actually came in the first quarter, and he's been shut out in the second quarter, and this is his first attempt at points at the free throw line, and makes 1 of 2. So he now has 6 points, but only 1 point here in the third quarter. Crane will have a seat on the bench with his third foul, the final 2 minutes of the third quarter. Now pressure by the Saints, and the ball stolen away by Jack Downey. And there's the Downey factor we saw in the first quarter for the Saints. Fouls on Dowling. It'll be on Paoli, his second.
One thing you always tell, never pick up your dribble past half court in the corner, and that's what Martins did. Picked up his dribble, really didn't have much to go, through a lateral pass that almost went over and back. Xavier stepped into the passing lane to cause the turnover.
There's certain rules of the game, and one is don't pick up your dribble in certain spots, best you can. And now Saints working inside is Andrew Murray. His shot up and no good. Rebound Keelis, who's replaced Martins in the lineup. And Quincy Moore in the Dowling lineup replacing Charlie Crane. And now Moore has it. His shot blocked by Evans. The rebound the other way. And here's Xavier with it. Here's Wilgenbush to the left hand. His shot no good. And a whistle and a foul on Evans. That'll be his third. So both big guys have 3 fouls each with 1:35 to go in the third.
So interesting. I said A.J. Evans picks up his first foul in the third quarter, and we talked about how he stays out of foul trouble. And before the end of the third quarter, he picks up his third foul, and he's in foul trouble.
He had 2 in a matter of a minute, a la Charlie Crane, like the first quarter. Evans did that in the third quarter early, and now picks up his third in the tail end of the third quarter. And free throws coming for Dowling, and that'll be Nathan Jenkins, who has 3 points tonight. And his first free throw is good. Jenkins, a 6'1 junior, transfer from Johnston. And a substitution. Evans will check out for Xavier, and checking in their backup post player, Lee Gametz. Second free throw is good.
I got the Maroons 9 of 10 from the free throw line tonight. Unofficially, of course, but certainly.
No, they've only missed 1, you're right.
Playing well and shooting well from the free throw line.
And that was the first free throw of the night. Noah Martins missed it, and the Maroons have hit 9 in a row. And now here's a steal by Dowling. Capola with the steal as he picked Wilgenbush clean at the free throw line. Maroons in the front court. Keelis for 3 in the corner. It's no good. And a rebound tipped out of bounds off of Wilgenbush as he was fighting with Jenkins for it.
Maroons going with a very small offensive group. 5 guards on the court.
Dowling by 15. 40-25 is our score here in the third quarter. Now out of bounds play underneath. Jenkins layup good. Nate Jenkins with all 7 points in the third quarter. The Maroons lead 42-25. over Xavier. Cedar Rapids Xavier in the front court. Final minute of the third quarter. With it is Carter Hoffman. Hoffman's pass stolen away by Gio Keelis. His shot up, left it short. Rebound Dowling. Good hustle that time by Martins. Gets it back to Keelis. Maroons go 4 out. Actually go 5 out. Nobody in the post.
This is where your quickness really has to come into play. Backdoor cuts, make the defense work.
Here's Capola with it in the lane. Shot up and good. Maddox Capola went right around Lee Gametz, the backup center. And Maddox, with his first field goal tonight, has 6 points. 20 seconds remaining. Shot clock off. 44-25. Dowling by 19. Jimmy, that's their largest lead of the night. Saints will play for 1. 10 seconds to play. Here's Xander Murray. Murray guarded by Jenkins. Now picks up his dribble. Tries to get the pass to Gamanz. It's stolen away by Jenkins. Nathan all the way down to left-hand layup. Good at the horn. Nathan Jenkins with 9 points all in the third quarter. And Dowling has blown it open. They lead by 21. Our score at the end of 3 quarters at the Dowling Catholic Classic. Dowling 46, Cedar Rapids Xavier 25. We'll return with the fourth quarter of this boys Catholic Classic in 1 minute on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
This is a Young Catholic Minute.
How can I speak up without shutting people down?
Boy, this one is pretty easy to answer, but really hard to do. The easy part of the answer is that every human being is made to love truth. And so when you share it lovingly, calling them on to something greater that will give them happiness and freedom, that is, as the Bible says, good news of great joy. Unfortunately, we humans have a terrible tendency to do the right things for all the wrong reasons. So if we're sharing the truth just because we know we're right, or we want to win an argument, or want to chalk one up on the old soul-saving tally, we're not really trying to give the gift of Christ's love, so we're using the truth to lie, and that won't inspire anyone. On the other hand, remember that Jesus lived and spoke the truth perfectly, and some people still didn't believe. So if that happens to you, offer your sufferings to Christ and pray for the grace to get up again. For more Young Catholic Minutes, go to youngcatholicminute.com.
And we're back here at the Dowling Gym on this Friday night, our first broadcast of the 2025 portion of the high school basketball season. Xavier with the basketball, and they turn it over on their first possession. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo, 46-25. Dowling leads Xavier out of Cedar Rapids Catholic Classic, Boys Catholic Classic. Game 1 was won by Carroll Kemper, 73-46 over Bishop Heelan, and now Dowling here in Game 2. Maroons have the ball on the baseline. Charlie Crane, his shot no good. Rebound Dowling. Now a long three coming by Paoli. It's no good. And the ball tipped out of bounds off of Xavier. Jimmy, you got to look at some numbers here.
Certainly, and Maroons really turned it on in the third quarter, really. Got 4 3-point shots in that third quarter. 15 of 35 for the game, though. 14 rebounds, 11 turnovers for Xavier. They are 9 of 24 for the game. I have them 14 rebounds and sitting at 15 turnovers, 16 because they started the fourth quarter. 16 turnovers in this game has really been something that's been the Achilles heel of Xavier and really allowed Dowling to expand the lead.
Got a whistle and a foul on Xavier. On Wilgenbush, that'll be his. Got him for 2. I say 1, so we'll see how that transpires. 46-25 Dowling. We start the fourth quarter. Now here's Crane in the lane. He's guilty of the travel as he battling A.J. Evans. So that's a turnover against the Maroons. And the other way we go. How about Nathan Jenkins? Held scoreless in the first half, 9 points, all in the third quarter.
Hit big shots, and that's what Nathan we've seen out of Nate Jenkins. Saw that at Johnston, and tonight he certainly can light it up when he's on when he gets an opportunity.
All right, Xavier with the basketball. Here's Wilgenbush in the lane. Pull-up jumper, good. Caleb Wilgenbush, that's his 11th point of the night. First basket of the second half for Wilgenbush, and it's 46-27. Dowling by 19. Dowling on the other end. Corner three, it's no good by Jenkins. Offensive rebound, Dowling. Underneath Crane, his shot up and good. He went right around Evans for the score.
Another turnover from Xavier, trying to feed into the post from half court.
So 9 points now for Charlie Crane. And on the other end, what happened there?
Turnover.
Xavier came in averaging 13 turnovers a contest. Dowling came in averaging 10 a contest through, 6 games for the Maroons and 5 games for Xavier.
You look at Xavier just on the year, they're a high percentage shooting team. I think the third in Class 3A in shooting was 65%, and I think they just got away from attacking the basket.
All right, here's Coppola in the lane, works his way in. His shot up and no good, and a rebound out to Xavier and Xander Murray. Saints in transition. Pino for 3, it's no good. Fight for the rebound, and wrestling away and scoring is Aiden Miller. Boy, he just took control of that. Miller with his first 2 points of the night, one of the starting guards for Xavier. Xavier comes in with 7 seniors on their squad. Dowling has 6 on their squad. Now we have the ball tipped out of bounds by Xavier. They're starting to overplay the passing games here, Jimmy. So you may want to see maybe a head fake or a ball fake once in a while.
Maroons go a little bit deeper into their bench, bringing in Leo Pagano.
Pagano gets it on the baseline, kicks it out. 3-pointer up. Good by Maddox Coppola. For Maddox, that is his 4th 3 of the year.
You know, in the shooting that Maddox has been struggling with, I know he's been working tirelessly during the break, and that has to feel like the weight of the world comes off his shoulders by hitting that shot.
Dowling by 22, their largest lead of the night, and now the Maroons off a steal in a fast break, and they turn it over as Quincy Moore checks into the Dowling lineup. He'll replace Charlie Crane with 5:15 to go here in the fourth quarter. Dowling 51, Cedar Rapids Xavier 29. The winner will meet Kemper Catholic of Carroll tomorrow at 1:30. And the loser of this game will play at noon against Heelan here at the Dowling Gym. Now Evans with it as Xavier now run their offensive set. Murray with it. Dribbles in the lane. Stops. Shut down. And now we got a whistle and a foul on Dowling, and that'll be on Pagano. Leo, 6-foot junior. That kid's going to be doing just fine. He wasn't coached by you. He played defense in football. He wasn't on the offensive end. Quincy Moore picks up the foul for the Maroons. These are starting to rack up fouls here. That's their second.
Second foul. Maroons going even deeper into their bench. Seeing Christian Basili for the first time tonight.
6-foot senior. Got to remember, playing back-to-back. Turn around and play tomorrow, so you got to strategically
and
put a team out
it's
there.
not just back. I mean, it's less than 24 hours. The winner of this team, which, the Maroons look to be in hand right now, but, they turn around and play at 1:30. Curfew night tonight.
Exactly. Well, the teams that are here, Bishop Heelan, Sioux City, Kemper Catholic of Carroll, the Saints turn it over, and Cedar Rapids Xavier all spending the night here in the Des Moines area. It's one of the hotels, and it's kind of a team bonding weekend. Do that every once in a while. Can't do that in football, but you can certainly do that in other sports. Baseball and basketball are certainly some opportunities to do that when you go on the road.
It's nice that they come from each corner of the state, Sioux City and Carroll and Cedar Rapids.
There is Keelis in the lane, shot up and good. Gio Keelis off the bench with 13 points. He's got a nice game, doesn't he? Now the other way we go, and Dowling comes away with the basketball. Keelis for 3 in the corner, good! Oh, it's the Gio Keelis show. A 3 in the corner. He's got 16 off the bench to lead Dowling. That is his 4th 3 of the night, Jimmy.
Remember, Gio was the guy that took the rim off the basket in the first quarter when the Maroons did not have a field goal until, about 4 minutes to go in the first quarter as Gio hit his first 3 of the night.
56-29 Dowling, but that's answered. Corner 3 good by Ben. Or check that, by Caleb Loswald. 56-32. Dowling with the lead. Keelis in the lane. His shot up and good. Just can't stop him.
He just played with a lot of confidence and a lot of basketball and shooting. A lot of it has to go with confidence. You have confidence and you feel like you're throwing the ball into the ocean and everything's going to go, and you just play more fluid, play more relaxed, and you're certainly seeing a lot of that out of Gio Keelis.
Maroon's largest lead has been 27 points. Right now it's at a 26-point lead. 3:30 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Dowling on their way to play in the finals of the Catholic Classic tomorrow. We'll have the game on Iowa Catholic Radio tomorrow afternoon. 1:30 tip-off. We'll be on the air about 1:15, maybe sooner, depending on how game one goes between Heelan and Xavier.
Lemon water for you tonight. Way to keep your voice fresh, but resetting the Maroons' offense as they've gone to their bench with Tommy Hurley, Jacob Peterson. You mentioned Christian Basili's in the game, and now seeing for the first time Jimmy Baumhover.
There's a steal by that group. Ball taken away, and here's Peterson with it underneath, and a shot is blocked underneath by Xavier. And that's Brady O'Donnell coming away with the block. The other way we go with Xavier in the basketball. Carter Hoffman in the front court with Jack Downey. Now gets it to Loswold. Caleb hit that three earlier. 58-32 Dowling, under 3 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. A lot of new faces, and now a nice backdoor cut layup, good by Carter Hoffman. Well executed that time by the Saints. Hoffman with his first 2 points. Now a corner three by Dowling. It's no good by Tommy Hurley. Rebound out of bounds to the Maroons as Gavin Jones checks in for the Maroons, 5'10 senior. He'll replace Leo Pagano.
A lot of first-time opportunities playing on the varsity stage for a lot of these young men.
I don't recognize Jacob Peterson without a helmet, so I'm sorry. And now the Maroons working inside to Pete. His shot up and good. Nice pass underneath to him. Bassett's going to count, and he's fouled. Fouls on Sam Luke of Cedar Rapids Xavier. That's his first. And an and one for Mr. Peterson. First basket of the season. A free throw is no good. Snaps a streak of 9 in a row for Dowling. Rebound Xavier. 2:25 remaining. Saints with it. Here's Mac Driscoll in the lineup. Driscoll dribbles in the lane, kicks it over in the corner for three by Brady O'Donnell. It's no good. And a rebound tipped out of bounds and went off Tommy Hurley or Christian Basili. Lemon water, is that your recommendation?
I've heard. But you look at this younger group coming in. You really want to see who has that ball handling skills.
Here's Peterson with another layup. Good. I thought all he did was block for your receivers.
You asked Jacob Peterson, he'd say all he does is score touchdowns. But tonight it's all transition for Jacob Peterson.
4 points off the bench for Jake Peterson. 6'2", 195-pound tight end. I think Coach Maynard and I came out of our seats when you finally completed a pass to him this year. Not many, but it was for a big first down, if I recall. All right, here's Xavier with it. Minute and a half to go. Working the offense. 5 on the shot clock. Now a three-pointer up and no good by Mac Driscoll. Ball tracked down by the Saints and Sam Luke, and he saved it from going out of bounds off a Dowling player. Speaking of a Dowling player, Sam Ralston checking in, number 23, a 6-foot sophomore, and he'll replace Jimmy Baumhover. So the Saints get a brand new shot clock, and at 25 remaining. Dowling 62, Xavier 34. Dribbling in the lane, a shot up, and no good by Ben Brasiak. Rebound Dowling. Maroons in transition. Three-pointer, good. Basili with his first 3 of the season. First 3 points of the season. How about that?
Basili just stepped into that. Didn't even think about it. Great touch. High harking shot.
You know, I picture these guys out here. You know, they're getting a lot of work in, but I think they've kind of beat on their old men. You know, their dads out there. I remember that's what Dante used to say. Yeah, I just take you and Chido to school out there, and so did Skiggs. So I love that. That's for these guys getting all their shots in. The layup that's no good by Xavier. Dowling the other way. Here's Jones for 3, no good by Gavin for Dowling. Rebound Xavier, and we got a loose ball foul on the Maroons on Tommy Hurley. Did I get my shots in on the dads?
Always. You look at some of these guys getting opportunities in there. And the one thing I loved about, getting these opportunities, I'm not running around passing the ball. I'm shooting. And so these guys, Basilica, hitting that shot.
Yeah, duly noted.
Saw Tommy Hurley taking his shots. I'm coming off the bench. I don't get many opportunities. I'm going to shoot the ball.
Gavin Jones picks up the foul. That'll be his first. Team foul number 4 on Dowling here in the second half. And free throws coming. First one up and no good. It's time now for our Dowling Catholic High School Activity Spotlight. Congratulations to Owen Pins, being recognized witness to the very best of faith, academics, and student activities. You can hear Owen's interview that was on the Catholic Morning Show by visiting Iowa Catholic Radio podcast page at iowacatholicradio.com. That was Friday, December 6th. And our thanks to our sponsor, Dowling Catholic High School Activity Spotlight. That is Brightside Aesthetics by Ducharme Dermatology and Clive, offering a wide range of aesthetic and wellness services and providing customized care to have you looking your best. Learn more at brightsideiowa.com. And Owen Pins, all-state first-team defensive lineman for, again, on the defensive side. You had nothing to do with that young man.
And he earned every bit of it. Owen watched him grow out through our football program and has done a tremendous job, and is going to go on to play football at Drake University next fall and get an opportunity to continue to play.
And brand new coach, Joe Woodley. Now corner 3 up and good by Leo Pagano. Leo with
Sam Ralston, actually.
Was it Ralston?
It was Ralston.
Oh, they're going to give it to him. They are. I'm sorry. Ralston picks up the 3. That's his first 3 points of the year. So a lot of firsts tonight. 68-34 Dowling, 3 seconds remaining. And the Maroons will meet Kemper Catholic tomorrow at 1:30. We'll have the game on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Very talented team. Watching them play before this varsity game, but Carroll Kemper, my goodness, they very athletic, move well without the ball, and
undefeated at 7-0 coming in. Got a nice team. We'll talk about that. That'll do it. Final score: Dowling 68, Cedar Rapids Xavier 34. As the Maroons improve their record to 5-2 and snap a 2-game losing streak, as the Maroons were beaten by Johnson and Waukee right before the Christmas break after winning their first 4, lost 2, and now they're starting a new streak, and they'll take on Kemper Catholic. The Knights defeated the Crusaders of Bishop Heelan of Sioux City 73-46. They'll be the finals tomorrow. We'll have it tomorrow afternoon. We'll go on the air at 1:15, so you and your other Cataldo, Vinny, can sleep in tomorrow. Maybe take him out to breakfast or something, do a family thing together.
Like I told you, Vinny's stretching out his fingers right now. He's got a big bowling match. It's Friday night. But, hey, listen, great game. You really didn't know which way this one was going to go at the beginning. Two teams have matched up so well on paper, and you thought that maybe see how the Maroons would come out of the break and slow start, to say the least, and Xavier took advantage of that. But the Maroons' defense tonight, keeping Xavier down to 34 points, which is about half of their season average, I think was really the difference. Maroons found a lot of success in transition offense as Xavier tried to play a zone and even a half-court match press. So great job by the Maroons handling that, and then the shooting that we finally found out of the Maroons in the third quarter, and then it expanded upon into the fourth was the difference in tonight's game.
Dowling outscoring Xavier 48-15 in the second half to win it 68-34. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back with our post-game show. We'll have Coach Einertson up here and maybe a guest or two alongside Jimmy Cataldo and Mark Amadeo. Vinny Cataldo back at the studios of Iowa Catholic Radio. And our final in Game 2 of our Catholic Classic here at the Dowling Gym. Dowling 68 and Cedar Rapids Xavier 34. In Game 1, it was Kemper Catholic defeating Bishop Heelan of Sioux City 73-46. So tomorrow at noon, the consolation game will have Bishop Heelan of Sioux City taking on Cedar Rapids Xavier, and that'll be followed by the game on Iowa Catholic Radio. We'll be on the air about 1:15 with tip-off scheduled for 1:30. It'll be Dowling and Kemper tomorrow afternoon for the finals of the Catholic Classic. We'll take a 2-minute break and return to the Dowling Gym with our postgame show here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
St. John Paul II would often say that the church must breathe with her two lungs, meaning that the church in the East and the West is one organic whole, and that both are necessary for the life and vitality of the one body of Christ. The Byzantine Catholic Eparchy of Parma consists of 12 Midwestern states, including Iowa. If you are a Byzantine Catholic or are interested in helping to grow Eastern Catholicism in Central Iowa, email Father Bruce Riebe, iowaaoutreach@parma.org. That's iowaaoutreach@parma.org.
At Caldwell Parish Funeral Home and Crematory, Des Moines' only Catholic-owned and operated funeral home, we understand the sacred traditions of the Catholic funeral rites. These traditions bring comfort, honor, and hope through faith in Jesus and the resurrection. Caldwell Parish, Des Moines' only Catholic-owned and operated funeral home. CaldwellParish.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Westgate Dental, offering cosmetic, family, implant, and general dentistry. Located at 1073rd Street, Suite 1 in West Des Moines, just behind Dowling Catholic High School. Learn more at westgatedentalia.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for programming funded by Blessman International. We bring the good news of the gospel to South African children and their families through faith formation and locally sustainable programs. As the Fellowship of Christian Athletes location for all South Africa, our Sports for Christ complex provides student access to friendly competition where discipline and dedication are developed. Learn how you can support programs like Sports for Christ or experience the hands-on engagement of a mission trip at blessmaninternational.org.
Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. cpcustomhomes.com.
And we're back here at the Dowling Catholic Gym. First broadcast of the 2025 portion of the high school basketball season. It was a boys' game tonight. We'll have a doubleheader. Our next broadcast, by the way, will be Monday night at tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow afternoon. We'll have the championship game. Dowling and Kemper Catholic out of Carroll at 1:30. We'll be on the air at 1:15. But our first conference game, I should say, is Monday night. So Dowling and Southeast Polk were supposed to play tonight in a girl-boy doubleheader. They moved it because of the Catholic Classic. Great job by the Southeast Polk administration. They moved it to Monday, so it was supposed to be here. Now it's going to be out at Southeast Polk because of a conflict or something. So we're going to play out there, and we'll be on the air Monday night about 6 o'clock for the girls' games and the boys to follow. And then the second game next week will be Dowling at Urbandale here a week from tonight here at the Dowling Gym, a girl-boy doubleheader. That'll be the second time around in the conference, believe it or not.
Yeah, and you get to know a little bit more about your opponent than you did in November. But playing 3 games in 4 days, it's probably feeling really good if you're in that coach's room right now, knowing that you got deep into your bench, you were able to save some legs because it's a very, very quick turnaround come 1:30 in the afternoon. And the way the Maroons play, they're going to play fast, they're going to play athletic, they're going to move around, and some of that, it was as frustrating as it was. You didn't see that at the end of break against Waukee especially, and then even Johnston didn't really get much offense, but the Maroons really opened the doors tonight and did a great job to get back to what we saw early in the season against Centennial and then Valley is their ability to transition, get out there and run, and then the shooting tonight was fantastic.
Yes, it certainly will. And we have a player to interview first, and we're going to put the headphones on to this young man, Lucas Paoli, one of the 6 seniors on this Dowling team. And Lucas, thanks for joining us. And congratulations on the win tonight, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You guys got off to kind of a slow start.
Yep.
It's Coach Anderson, Coach Cataldo and I are kind of kid. Charlie Crane's good for 1, maybe 2 fouls in the first minute. Well, tonight he, what was it I wrote down here? Crane, and he picked up, he didn't last 47 seconds. He had 2 fouls, so now we're playing that game. But you guys stepped up. Cold shooting to start off with, but you guys just kind of found a way to run up and down. And I'll tell you what, Lucas, you trailed by 2 at the end of the first quarter. You had a 1-point lead at halftime, and then everything seemed to flow in the second half. Outscored them to 15 in the second half. So what changed at halftime? You had a 1-point lead.
Yeah, I think it all starts at the defensive end. We really ramped up our intensity, and that got us going offensively. So just all around start from our defense and the clamps we put down.
Was a 6 a.m. practice the day after the Waukee game? Did that kind of get everybody's attention? Because
Yeah,
I really thought you were going to practice after we got done with the post-game show. I really did, but Coach Anderson, I think, had kids. You what?
I tried. There were just too many people here, so Coach Wilson's like, bring them back.
Yeah, but that didn't happen.
No. But that was a good start for our break. Really helped us turn it around, so it was needed.
Well, as I told Coach Cataldo before the season, not a whole lot of returning starters from last year, but experience. Well, you and Maddox Capola are the two experienced ones. Maddox got to start a lot. You were battling injury, it seemed like, your junior year and even your sophomore year. And now here you are as a senior, and you come in here tonight and you knock off a team from Eastern Iowa who's got a pretty good pedigree in Xavier.
Yep, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I think we just meshed really well as a group, which has helped us all step up, regardless of our experience last year.
So Lucas, you're a senior and you're a captain, right? Which is a big honor to have, but it's also a big responsibility. And you look at the first 6 games that you played, really didn't finish the break very well. I'm sure there's a lot of discussions amongst the players. I know you guys are a close-knit group. What are some things that you guys talked about over the break? What are some things as a captain you're trying to leave as your legacy with this group?
Yeah, for sure. Taking accountability is one. You got to recognize that we had a poor week, but that doesn't define us. So we just got to come back in the gym and get a win every day, every practice, and that'll translate to our coming games in the future.
Well, one thing that we've seen out of you is some hot shooting, and tonight you hit a big 3 over here, but your ability to attack the basket, I thought, has been a difference maker in not just your game, but so many others who play downhill, and that's when you guys are playing at your best. But what are some of the things that you've worked on in the offseason to prepare yourself for this one?
Yeah, just our multiple workouts in the morning, getting up early and going back to back to back has helped us to, both with conditioning, so to get through those long games and those long defensive possessions that turn the offense. So it helps us play fast and run the floor well.
Staying healthy?
Yeah.
What's the key to that?
Just icing, stretching, drinking water, doing the best I can.
Ignore him when he's on the ground. Get back up is what Nicholson always yells at him.
Yeah, rub some dirt on it. So
that's the football coach in, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's
I told
awesome.
you, we're trying to steal everything from them. So
yeah, and you've mentioned that, Coach Anderson, as you joined us on mic. Coach Justin Anderson, Dowling after a win tonight, 68-34 over Cedar Rapids Xavier. Talk about this young man, Mr. Paoli. Lucas, one of your 6 seniors, Coach.
I mean, great testament to how special this place can be. I mean, Lucas has some Wisconsin blood, so I have an extra connection with him. It's, you're used to playing our 5th grade tournament at Lincoln, so I've known Lucas, or at least known of him for a long time. But the leadership this year, last year was tough because we had all these guards and honestly couldn't figure out which ones to play last year, and they all offered something different. And Lucas, the one time he was about to break in, he gets hurt, and then I think there was a sickness mixed in there as well. So late season, when we really needed him, he wasn't high enough on our list. So I thought he had probably the toughest draw of everybody on our roster last year. So for him to come in spring and commit to putting in the work to earn all of these minutes and now college looks is pretty special. And that's kind of what you hope everybody in the program does. You hope, regardless of where they are as freshmen, sophomores, juniors, that they're just going to keep working. We always knew that Lucas could be a special player for us. It was just a matter of, how good he wanted to get. And I thought his leadership from day one, when we started in spring with our book read, we did a book read in spring and started working out in spring. He was A1 right off the bat. So pretty cool for a guy that really didn't get enough playing time last year, as much as he should have, to just come in and take over.
And this summer, all the summer ball that you played, he was a big part of that.
Yeah, I think that the game's so different, right? But you still get challenged, and we got challenged 19 times and some trips and some long days, and I think the biggest challenge was the 6 a.m., 7:15, 8:30, the back-to-back-to-back that he was talking about, that we would do 3 days a week. And he rose to the challenge, and the great part was he brought people with him. So all the success that we're seeing and we'll see this year is attributed to him.
All right, well, Lucas, back-to-back as you come back here tomorrow is about 24 hours or a little over 24 hours. You take on a very fine Kemper Catholic team. Kemper Catholic defeated Bishop Heel in the Sioux City in Game 1, and I know you don't know much about them, but you'll have probably a quick shoot-around tomorrow. But playing back-to-back, we'll talk about that. This is the second time you've had to do that this year.
Yeah, you just got to flip the page. Regardless of the outcome of the first game, you got to look past it. It's a new game the next day. You might be sore, you might be tired, but you got to come the same way with high intensity. And tomorrow we're hoping for a better start than today.
Well, the last time you played back-to-back, you beat Valley on a Friday night and went over to beat Roosevelt on a Saturday. So whatever you do, don't forget treatment. We talked about ice and treatment. That's going to happen. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Coach Anderson, any final comments for this young man before we
let him go?
I think
our practices are harder than some of these games, so I think he's going to be ready to go tomorrow. Yeah, it was nice to see us pop out in the third quarter like we did. Once we turn the clamp, Bo's here getting interviewed right now, again, for the second time this year.
Not a problem.
Hey, buddy. Once we turn the clamps on, we're a really good team. So when we play off of our defense and just play loose on offense, I think we can be tough.
You led by 1 at halftime, and then you come out and outscore them 26-6.
I was wondering what it was in the third. Yeah,
that was quarter. Yeah,
that's who we can be. And I tell these guys the difference between this team and a lot of teams I've coached is they are so good at turning defense into offense. So sometimes when you're struggling offensively, you just got to keep grinding on the defensive end until you can get freed up.
I thought your defensive effort tonight was absolutely outstanding against a very good shooting Xavier team. But you guys got off that slow start. Your first field goal came by a Gio Keelis 3-point shot with just under 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. I remember you called a timeout about 2 minutes in and catching some of the things, the intensity that you got into that timeout. Talk about how do you get these guys to understand where they're at in the game, where they're failing, and where they need to focus their efforts?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have to do that a ton with this group. But, sometimes when you're struggling, you have lapses in effort that match maybe your lapses on the offensive end. So you have a couple of shots rim out, and then young teams tend to have it affect the defensive end. We had 3 guys not even trying to rebound, and that is not what we do. As you know from watching last year, we're obsessed with rebounding here. So defensive rebounding, when it's a one-on-one rebound, I lose it. And that was one of the few times where I got into them. And, man, talk about the response. I mean, from that point on, they were great. So I'm sure they're never going to let me get to that point again.
I thought the response.
Right, Lucas?
Yeah, for sure. I thought the response of the team really showed where they've come and their maturity level. When you
100%.
started this year, you were so young and inexperienced, but you come through the break and you come out and you hope for the best, because those last 2 games, I know that was something that really laid on you, for the last 2 weeks. But how was your team going to respond? I thought after they got their feet under them, tremendous job, especially in that third quarter. But shooting the ball, something we haven't seen a ton of. But man, these guys hit some shots.
That's what we work on, right, Lucas?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we work on transition threes and kick out threes, and we haven't seen a lot of success yet. So hopefully this will get us started.
All right. Well, Lucas Paoli, thanks for coming up here. I know you probably want to get in the shower and get home and get rest and come back. We look forward to tomorrow, and he's going to be in the starting lineup, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That's one of the seniors. Okay.
Hey, Reese, say hi to Grandma.
Hi, Grandma.
There you go.
Oh, that's fantastic.
There you go. I love it. First on air for one of the.
Well, she'll be on the girls' team someday, so you'll hear her again.
I'm sure. All right, Mr. Paoli, thanks for coming up here. Anybody you want to give a shout out to that might be out there in Radio Land?
Shout out to my family.
No, you just did that.
Yep.
Best of luck. Stay healthy.
All right,
and we'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Good job tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Coach Anderson, before we let you go, back-to-back, what's the plan now? What do you know about this night team other than what I gave you?
We know they score like the Dickens. They run, they kick out, they shoot it, they play in a lot of ways how we want to play. So it's a fun challenge. Yeah, I mean, it's a fun challenge because I can't think of a 4A team that plays like this.
No.
I mean, I was looking through over Christmas break and trying to find one that compare them to, and I can't. So it's a little Grinnell-ish with a little bit more structure defensively, but it's a nice challenge for us, especially after a defensive effort like that the last 3 quarters.
Yeah, they've got some size, they got some guards, and it'll be up and down.
I tell you, you look long term, it's nice to have that win-loss record on your resume, even though they're a 2A team. There's a lot of 4As that we could go out and play, but this team's going to win about 19, 20 games
Absolutely.
this year. And that is nice to have on the resume.
I think Holly Coppola did a great job referencing, the meaning of having Carol Kemper here at Dowling with the passing of Denny O'Grady, and if you really had to have your hopes on how this thing was going to work out, before the season,
Denny would love this.
This would be the
exact
great ending for what he certainly meant to that Carroll community and certainly Carol Kemper.
Absolutely, we're thinking about Denny all the time. It's hard not to, during starting lineups.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. Coach. All right. Well, listen. Best of luck. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
All right, thanks, boys.
Matinee at Dowling that's head coach Justin Einerson, and with him was Lucas Paoli, a Dowling senior, following the Maroons' win tonight over Cedar Rapids Xavier in the Catholic Classic, 68-34 here in this boys' contest. And Jimmy Cataldo, let's rattle off the. You got your stats ready, or do you?
I got them, but I think after looking at Coach Anderson's stats, I don't know how correct I am, but
you know what?
It's pretty close.
I'm going to send it out right now.
I'm going to take a picture of it. You go ahead and.
So I have the Maroons shooting 46% on the night, which included they shot 31 3-point shots tonight, hit 11 of them. A big chunk of those coming in the third and fourth quarter. Let's see here, 19 total rebounds for the Maroons, and just 12 turnovers. So fantastic job, holding on to the basketball, especially when you're getting pressed by Xavier. They're matching up a zone, mixing out man-to-man to zone. For Xavier tonight, shot 13 of 35 for 37%, well below their average. So the Maroons played tremendous defense, as we talked. 21 total rebounds, so the Maroons got out-rebounded 21-19, but to 21 turnovers tonight for Xavier, I thought was a huge, huge difference in what the Maroons were able to do in transition and in attacking the basket. So took advantage of those, the Maroons did, and came off with a very, very good win tonight.
It was a slow start. Remember, the Maroons were down most of that first half. They trailed by 7, but kind of dug themselves out and had a 1-point lead at the half. So let's take a look at scoring, Jimmy, in the contest. We'll start with the visitors from Cedar Rapids Xavier, as their record falls to 4-2 for head coach Mike Freeman, and they were led by Caleb Wilgenbush with 11 points. He had 9 of those 11 at halftime, finished with 11, only player in double figures. Their big guy, 6'8 junior A.J. Evans, finished with 6 points. And Xander Murray finished with 6 points on a pair of three-pointers. He is their leading three-point shooter on the team. 3 points for Caleb Loswold off the bench, and then 2 points each for Aiden Miller and Lorenzo Pino, a pair of starters, along with Carter Hoffman off the bench for 2 and Jack Downey off the bench for 2. The Saints were 5 of 8 at the free throw line. For Dowling Catholic, the Maroons had 1 player in double figures, and that was Gio Keelis off the bench with 18 points tonight for the 6'3 junior for the Maroons. He was followed by Maddox Coppola, Charlie Crane, and Nathan Jenkins, all with 9 points each. 8 points for Noah Martins, and then 4 points for the tight end that nobody threw too much during the football season, Jacob Peterson, and 3 points for Christian Basili, as Dowling finished 9 of 11 at the free throw line. Sam Ralston with 3 points. At a correction, I thought it was Pagano, and it was Ralston. Thank you for that, with 3 points. Dowling finished 9 of 11. And as we mentioned, our quarter scores earlier, Xavier got out to a 13-11 first quarter lead, and Dowling outscored the Saints 9-6 in the second quarter. Maroons led by 1 at halftime, 20-19. The Maroons go on a 26-6 run in the third quarter. Dowling led 46-25 going into the fourth quarter and outscored Xavier 22-9 in the fourth quarter to win it 68-34, the final, Dowling over Cedar Rapids Xavier in Game 2 of the Catholic Classic. Game 1 goes to Kemper, 73-46 over Bishop Heelan of Sioux City. Jimmy?
So one thing we didn't get a chance to talk to Coach Einerson about, but just some of the things that, what did they focus on? What were the things that they were working on over the last 2 weeks during this break, just to find the team that they hope to find in January? What were some of the things that? So it'd be interesting to ask that question tomorrow, but. I just thought the Maroons did great. We talked about what about that 1-3-1 zone? The zone. Why don't we do more zone when force these guys to shoot the ball, especially with the shot clock? We saw the Maroons go to zone one time. Xavier hit a 3, and they never went back to it.
That's why you don't see a lot of zone.
You don't see zone.
Although Xavier had their 1-2-2 matchup, full court, and they did a little half court zone. So you don't see that a lot here in Central Iowa with the 4A schools. So.
And we've said that is you see the Valleys, the Urbandales, the Ankeny schools Waukee schools over and over and over. You know them before they even walk into the gym what they're going to do. It's some of these schools from around the state and the way they play, because that's the way they need to play in their certain parts of the state. It's just interesting is how do you adapt and can you control the tempo of the game? And I just thought the Maroons did, especially when the zone was bothering them, the press was bothering them. So what they did, they found the way to get the rebound and then push the tempo. And tomorrow, I think Coach Anderson said it best, is that, Carroll Kemper, plays a lot like they do. So it's a little enlightening when you go into a quick turnaround. You don't have to watch a ton of film. It's just going out to play your game and adjust where you need to adjust when those bullets are flying.
All right. Well, Jimmy, we will see you tomorrow, 1:15 now with our pregame, and 1:30 is scheduled for tip-off. We could start early depending on how the noon game goes, but it'll be Bishop Heelan of Sioux City taking on Cedar Rapids Xavier at noon in the consolation game of the Catholic Classic, and then the Dowling boys and Kemper Catholic boys will do battle at 1:30. We'll be on the air at 1:15, so looking forward to that, and appreciate your help. Good seeing you in the first game of the new year. It's good to see you.
Same to you. You worked hard over the last few weeks, and so it's good to get back. January's a grind, as you know.
Yes, it
and
is.
You know more than anybody.
That's a grind.
It's back to back to back. So, like I said, a lot of lemon water for you. Keep your voice. I'm not good at play-by-play, so let's keep you fresh. Ice baths. I know this. Joe Capola, I don't know if he's listening, but he has that ice bath at home, and I guarantee you, Maddox is taking an ice bath tonight to make sure that he stays fresh.
Absolutely.
But just certain ways to keep fresh. So, if you got to go home, take an ice bath, just keep yourself fresh for these games. Because you're going to do what? Almost 6 games in 4 nights?
That'll be busy.
That's hard.
That's time. It's time of year, man.
Ice bath.
Ice bath. Well, thanks.
I don't want you to come up here with your knees, ice packs on your knees. What are you doing? I'm play-by-play tonight.
Vinny Cataldo did a great job back at the studio. I wish Vinny could probably be sitting next to me sometime, maybe put you in the studio, but then we wouldn't be on the air, so maybe this does work out. But
Vinny
you're a relative.
Is nipping at the bud to get out there because he's got a new bowling ball that he's working on. It's a 17-pound ball, and he's excited.
You get it for Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So
I think the bumpers are going down tonight. He's playing with a free
he's
gutter.
Got the late match?
Free gutter tonight for Vinny.
I see. Oh, free gutter. Well, you're just a poor guy. All right, Jimmy, we'll talk to you tomorrow. We got to wrap this up.
It's going to be a great game tomorrow.
I hope so.
Look forward to it.
We'll look forward to it. Thank you. Jimmy Cataldo, my broadcast partner. That'll wrap it up from the Dowling Gym tonight. Our thanks to everybody here at Dowling Catholic High School, including Jared Herring and Tom Wilson. And, of course, Holly Capola, our halftime guest, does all the special projects and events. Appreciate talking to her about that here at halftime. For our studio producer, Vinny Cataldo, this is Mark Amadale reminding you the final scores of the final time. In Game 1, it was Kemper Catholic of Carroll defeating Bishop Heelan of Sioux City 73-46. And in Game 2, it was Dowling Catholic, a winner over Cedar Rapids Xavier 68-34. So the Dowling boys will take on the Kemper boys tomorrow in the championship game. 1:30 will be tip-off. We'll go on the air at 1:15. The noon game will have Bishop Heelan of Sioux City taking on the Cedar Rapids Xavier Saints. So that'll be the matchup in the Catholic Classic, and that'll be our next broadcast. For my broadcast partner, Jimmy Cataldo, and for Vinny Cataldo, our studio producer, this is Mark Amadale saying goodnight and so long. And thanks to our supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio. They include Ashworth Vision Clinic, Blessman International, Bosun the Florist, Construction Professionals. Our thanks to Catholic Tuition Organization, Fast Signs in Clive, Mercy One, and Skeffington's Formal Wear. For Jimmy Cataldo, I'm Mark Amadale. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Until then, have a blessed and faith-filled evening.
Coverage of Dowling Catholic sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Mercy One, Blessman International, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Fast Signs in Clive, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Bosun the Florist. Please support the businesses that underwrite Iowa Catholic Radio. The preceding has been a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio.